I've owned a 2007 Aston Martin V8 Vantage with a certified pre-owned warranty from Aston Martin. And as of a few weeks ago, I have officially sold it. So today, I'm gonna wrap up a year of Aston Martin ownership. I'm gonna tell you all the numbers associated with my ownership of it. I'm gonna tell you all of the things that I did with my car, and then I'm gonna give you my conclusions about owning an Aston Martin for a year, something I've thought about a lot, both when I owned it and since I've sold it. First, I'll start with the numbers. During my year with my Aston Martin, I drove it 17,478 miles to 32 US states, plus the District of Columbia, plus Canada twice. That is a lot. The typical Aston Martin owner drives between 2,000 and 3,000 miles a year. So I feel like I really crammed a lot into my year of Aston Martin ownership, and I feel like I really got my money's worth. And I'm really happy I had the peace of mind of that bumper-to-bumper warranty to go along with me on all of my driving this year. So how was my ownership experience?
Well, it started with some weird noises and a breakdown, and I really thought this was going to be a rocky, unreliable year as I watched it load onto a flatbed tow truck just a few weeks after I bought it. But I wasn't scared. I told you guys I was going to drive this thing a lot, and I did. Almost immediately after I got it back, I put studded winter tires on it, and I drove it 7 hours to Vermont, where my friend Bill convinced me to drive it on a frozen lake, which was some of the most fun I've ever had in an automobile.
Of course, that wasn't my only road trip.
I drove it to the District of Columbia and gave you guys a nice tour of our nation's capital. It performed flawlessly. I also drove it 1,200 miles to Maine and back this summer with my fiance, who was a good sport about being part of a YouTube Aston Martin bumper-to-bumper warranty experiment. It also performed flawlessly. And it also performed flawlessly on my crazy, wild, insane cross-country road trip where I drove it from the East Coast to the West Coast and back. Highlights of that trip? Well, there was the time I brought it to the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah and got it up to just shy of 150 miles per hour legally. There was the time a wild bison crossed directly in front of me on the road. There was, of course, driving through all of the small towns where nobody's ever seen an Aston Martin. And there were 6 amazing meetups with my readers and viewers, including an especially magical one in Minneapolis.
But I didn't just have fun with my Aston Martin on road trips.
I compared it to a Porsche 911 Turbo and a Honda Odyssey. I got it stuck in the snow and tried to set it free with my camera tripod, which was very upsetting to a lot of viewers with no discernible sense of humor. I showed you all of its many quirks, and there were a lot of them. I had it appraised at CarMax. I showed you how people react to it when they see it on the street. I told you what it costs to own. And I explained the benefits and drawbacks of trying to daily drive an Aston Martin, which is something that many people asked me about. Oh, and well, there's this.
Unlimited mileage, bumper-to-bumper warranty.
An unlimited mileage, bumper-to-bumper warranty.
Bumper-to-bumper, unlimited mile warranty.
So I've done a lot of crazy stuff with my Aston Martin, and I've shown you everything there is to know about owning one. But what did I think of it? Well, after a year of driving it, I can safely say that I liked it, but I didn't love it. Yes, it's a great car, beautiful styling, great engine note, excellent interior. But I couldn't help shake the feeling that a 911 has a better clutch and shifter action and just feels more tossable on back roads. 911 is also a lot more practical and usable around town. The annual service in my Aston Martin, for example, was tremendously expensive. And I haven't yet shaken the Aston Martin's reliability concerns. I took it on a lot of trips where it was flawless, but then again, my warranty did pay for itself within my first month of ownership. But most importantly, I've noticed this. Since I sold my Aston Martin, I haven't really missed it. It was just gone. Maybe it's because I never saved it for special occasions and I drove it all the time, but I never really felt bad that I had sold it. There hasn't been a moment since I've sold it where I thought, darn, I really miss that car. I wish it wasn't gone. It just left, and I haven't really thought about it all that much. It never really gave me the special experience that I think I was expecting it to. So that's what I think about my Aston Martin, and here are a couple more numbers. Over the last year, I've created 22 YouTube videos featuring it that total over 6.5 million views. And if you followed along since day one and watched all of the Aston Martin hijinks, I sincerely thank you. I also give my sincerest thanks to FC Kerbeck Aston Martin in New Jersey, and especially my service advisor, Eric Lau, who did an excellent job maintaining and repairing the car. It was one of the best dealership experiences I've ever had. Now that it's gone, of course, my Dodge Viper is here, and it's gonna stay for a while, but I need to replace the Aston Martin with something else, and I'll do a new Choose the Doug car competition in the next month or two. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed my crazy Aston Martin adventures.
Yeah, I need a tow truck because I just broke down. Yeah, it's a 2007 Aston Martin.